This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith.
I'm Bill Bryant. Hey, it's great to have you with us on WKYT on your Tuesday morning as we get things off and rolling. Now at 6 a.m., Lexington's chapter of the American Red Cross is heading to Louisiana today. They're going to be helping with flood relief there. We'll have the latest on the historic flooding straight ahead.
The cause of a deadly ATV crash in Owen County that left a toddler dead is still under investigation. Coming up, neighbors' reactions. They'll tell us how they rushed in to help the injured child.
And a Tennessee family is thankful that their infant is safe after a close call with a venomous snake. See how the family dog is now being called a hero for saving the day.
Yeah, we are dry this morning, but we will not be dry later on this afternoon as we have the front on its way. It's traveling eastbound, but slowly but surely it'll make its way toward us. When does the rain start and how much are we expecting? That's coming up.
Let's get right to the latest news. This morning, state police are still trying to figure out what led to an ATV crash that killed a 2-year-old boy. It happened in Owen County at the intersection of Georgetown Road and Greenup Road.
Investigators say Spencer Lawson was driving with the 24-year-old woman and the child when the ATV overturned. Neighbors say the roads were wet from rain, but the ATV was not moving very fast. Still, police say the woman suffered serious injuries. The passenger, they say the toddler, was pronounced dead at a local hospital.
A lot of the neighbors who ran over to help, they were all, crying, and they're helping as much as possible, controlling the traffic and trying to keep everybody from seeing everything.
The Owen County coroner has not released the name of the child. Neighbors think the roads were the main factor for the accident. State police say toxicology results are pending for the driver of the ATV.
State police say 2 suspects wanted in connection to a Lee County murder are in custody this morning. Joe Shoemaker and Reagan Griffin are both facing complicity charges in the murder of Billy Roark. State police say both were arrested last night on Rock Lick Road in Breathitt County. Police say Roark and James Brown were both shot to death earlier this month in separate incidents in Lee County. 4 other people have also been arrested in connection to those murders. A man wanted for a string of crimes in 2 Kentucky counties is now in jail this morning. Billy Caudle is now in the Madison County Detention Center after being released from the hospital. On Friday, police tried to arrest Caudle in Clay City, but they say he managed to run off after being handcuffed. Moments later, police say Caudle was hit by a car. He was taken to the hospital where he remained until yesterday. Police say Caudle broke into a Richmond car lot's office last week. They say he is wanted for escape, fleeing and evading, and wanton endangerment charges in Lee County.
We've learned more about a deadly house fire in Magoffin County. The fire started Sunday at a home on Rock House Road in Sauliersville. Investigators think Pansy Howard was smoking in bed near an oxygen tank. They think that's what caused the fire. Firefighters say Howard died. They say the fire also destroyed much of the home. We're told Howard's body has been taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Lexington's Planning and Safety Committee is expected to discuss the University of Kentucky's proposal to close part of Rose Street during a meeting today. Sean Moody's at our alert desk with details.
Hey there, Rebecca. University of Kentucky spokesman said this was all about pedestrian safety. It's on the agenda for a planning and public safety meeting today. Students have said it's difficult to cross the road safely. If you drive Rose Street when classes are in session, it's not unusual to see people darting in and out between traffic. This proposal would permanently close the stretch of Rose Street between Columbia and Huguelit. It's been closed for the past few months while the new academic science building is under construction there. This proposal would make that section of Rose Street a pedestrian walkway, but it would allow emergency vehicles to pass through to UK Hospital. Rose Street has changed a lot over the past few years. It used to run all the way from downtown Lexington to South Limestone, allowing vehicles in and out at both ends. Back in 2006, the South Limestone end was cut off to everything except hospital traffic. UK spokesman Jay Blanton said if that proposal goes through, they hope to have the walkway ready by next fall. That would go along with the opening of that new science building. Bill, Rebecca, back to you.
John, thank you very much. It'll be interesting to see how that all goes. And Richmond city officials will hold a meeting this morning. They'll be discussing the police department's salary and wages. Richmond police wages have been an issue in the city for years, but the issue reemerged during a city commission meeting last month when a group protested for better pay at City Hall. Acting Richmond Police Chief Robert Mott says 15 officers have left the force this year alone. He says right now the city's entry-level salary is competitive with other cities, but more senior officers' pay is not. Longtime City Commissioner Robert Blythe indicates he will be offering up a compromise today to try to get this moving. This morning's meeting begins at 8:30 at Richmond City Hall. More help is on the way. That's the message from Lexington's chapter of the American Red Cross as crews are preparing to head to Louisiana this morning.
The devastating flooding has taken at least 7 lives, forced more than 20,000 people from their homes. Really dramatic situation here. With more rain expected in the forecast, the danger is just far from over.
WKYT's Mike Byer joining us live now with more on the state's historic flooding and the help from Kentucky.
Good morning, Bill. This morning, a couple volunteers from the Bluegrass area chapter of the American Red Cross are heading down to Louisiana, making the 800-mile trip to help flood victims who are left in tears after seeing the aftermath of the flooding.
This is my entire life that I worked my entire life for, just washed away.
Like Christina Broad are seeing the destruction to their homes for the first time. Many areas around the southern part of the state have been taken over by floodwaters. One of the worst affected areas is Louisiana's capital, Baton Rouge. This area, along with many others, are left underwater following historic flooding in the state. More than 20,000 people have been rescued from the floodwaters that have claimed the lives of 7 people so far. Now thousands have been forced from their homes into emergency shelters. With such a high number of people affected is why chapters of the American Red Cross from all over the nation, including right here in Lexington, are heading down to Louisiana to help these flood victims get back on their feet. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Important work that they are doing. The winners of this year's Governor's Awards in the arts say they do not want it. The Appalachian poets rejected the Community Arts Award. The group posted on their Facebook the reasons why, denouncing Governor Matt Bevin's actions and positions on issues like arts education, health care, and criminal justice reform. The writers say they have not gotten a response yet from the governor's office, but they have received quite a bit of feedback from the community.
Poetry is about community, and poetry is about people learning to speak to each other about what matters to them. In that sense, the response to this has really reinforced that core belief of the group.
A spokesperson for the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet tells us that to their knowledge, this is the first time an award's been rejected. We're told there will not be a replacement name for the ceremony in October. We also reached out for a statement from the governor's office, but we have not gotten a response yet on that. A Tennessee couple is crediting their dog with saving their 18-month-old son's life.
The Holloway family says they were sitting on their porch in Sevierville when they noticed the dog named Shiloh running toward their son Bryson. They didn't know at the time, but they soon realized that Shiloh was protecting the boy from a copperhead snake. The snake bit Shiloh, though, on the jaw.
And then it dawned on me that he literally grabbed that snake from the feet, near the baby's foot.
Now, the snake did bite Shiloh, but the family says he has survived the snake bite and is okay now. The boy was not hurt. The parents say they are grateful that Shiloh jumped into action to protect the boy, and he has now become the family hero.
Good Shiloh dog.
Yeah.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're looking across the region. I don't see any problems whatsoever. Good morning to you early this morning. We do have some showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon that we'll have to deal with. But getting the kids off to school, you heading out to work, no problems whatsoever. Let's take a look across the region. Moorhead down 64. No problems there. It looks pretty good. I-75 up toward Florence. Frankfort, no issues. Lexington, I'm not hearing of anything. Corbin, London, all looks good across 75. And if you're heading toward E-Town down BG Parkway, no issues early this morning. Not traffic, as well we haven't heard. And also no rain falling on you. That always helps out early in the morning. So we're looking good, but the problem is back toward the west is not. Once the front gets a little bit closer this afternoon, the front will be over western Kentucky. Even though it's not over us, still the forcing is there. And so you add that with daytime heating, then you're talking about some pretty heavy rain as these thunderstorms pass on through. So there is a marginal risk of not only severe weather, but also the risk at seeing some flash flooding. That means there's very, very slight chance, okay? So there's not a great chance, but it's still there. That's afternoon, I'd say anywhere from 1 p.m. to about 8 p.m. is when you could see the heaviest rain. Let's go in toward tomorrow because still the front hasn't made its way through yet tomorrow. So that will still bring us some showers and thunderstorms. Some of these will be heavy downpours too. And not only that, but maybe even the possibility of some strong storms. So both days, today and tomorrow, 60% chance of rain. That means 40% will stay dry. Not everybody sees the rain, but a pretty good percentage of us will actually see that. That's 5 p.m., 6 p.m. By 7, 8 p.m. it moves on out tomorrow. And then we look towards your Thursday. Thursday's not so much about heavy rain. It's not about that. It's some leftover showers, especially south of I-64. There's 5 p.m. tomorrow on Thursday. So really today and tomorrow your better opportunities of rain. And then you look toward tomorrow or Thursday into Friday and things start to calm down just a bit, but still have that chance in there. You have a chance for the weekend, but I do want to show you this. 81 on Saturday. 80 degrees there on Sunday. Boy, these temperatures are looking really, really good. And if that doesn't sound good to you, how about 79 on Monday? I mean, there's some really nice air heading our direction, guys, but we just got to get through this front that has been lagging back behind for the past, 4 to 6 days? I mean, we've been talking about this front for a long time, and it just hasn't moved. So we'll see that finally trek on through the next 48 hours. Finally.
Almost a cool overnight low there was Monday.
No
it looks
kidding.
like, right?
Absolutely. Looking pretty good.
Okay, it's all getting better. Our time this morning is 6:11 on WKYT.
Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together.
Let's do that right now and check and see what's happening out on the roads with live drive traffic this morning. And first of all, we have a look at the region. Things are looking good. We have no reports of any problems on the interstates. As you can see, Nicholasville Road running fine. Harrodsburg Road, no delays early. Now, the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government live drive camera at Main and Limestone in beautiful downtown Lexington, KY. Everything looks good there, too. No early issues today.
Yeah, not really.
Of course, the school buses are getting ready to get out there.
Yes, things will get hopping later today.
Students are showing up at UK and over at EKU tomorrow, so lots going on.
Yes, well, police have arrested a man in connection with California's latest massive wildfire. We'll have a look at the investigation as the fire continues to spread when we come back.
Hey there, good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air. We're live from Lexington at 6:15 on your Tuesday. Police have arrested a man in connection with the latest wildfire in Northern California.
The massive fire still burning out of control this morning. At least 4,000 acres have been charred. Almost 200 homes and buildings have been destroyed. CBS's Chris Martinez has the latest.
At this hour in the Lake County Jail,
California police have arrested a 40-year-old man and charged him with 17 counts of arson.
the suspect is in jail tonight, and that's what is important.
They say Damon Anthony Paschalk is responsible for numerous fires over the past year and a half, including the blaze that tore through the town of Lower Lake, California over the weekend. It destroyed more than 175 buildings and homes.
You know, I haven't quite lost it yet over the whole thing. Pretty much my whole life was inside that building there.
The fire started Saturday afternoon and by Sunday was burning house after house.
Not knowing what's going on, not knowing if we have somewhere to go.
100-degree heat and fierce winds made battling the blaze difficult from the air and on the ground.
They were supposed to evacuate and get all of our stuff out.
The fire, named the Clayton Fire, is burning near the same area scorched by 3 major wildfires last year. Officials have described the Clayton Fire as aggressive and intense, but they're hoping to gain ground.
The weather is a nemesis for us.
The biggest concern, the return of stronger winds that could send burning embers flying.
It only takes one of those to get out of our hands, and now we've got a problem again. We're hoping that's not going to be the case.
So far, preliminary damage estimates total more than $10 million. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Lower Lake, California.
The fire is only 5% contained. 1,600 fire personnel are fighting to keep that under control as much as they can. Well, Donald Trump is looking to regain momentum a day after laying out his anti-terror plan. Speaking from Ohio yesterday, the Republican nominee called for extreme vetting of immigrants to keep people with radical views from entering the country. Hillary Clinton, who campaigned with Vice President Biden in Pennsylvania yesterday, slammed Trump's proposals out as outrageous and dangerous.
The police chief in Milwaukee says the city was calmer last night, just 2 days after the fatal police shooting of a black man led to rioting. Chief Edward Flynn says 6 people were arrested during some heated confrontations, but there was no destruction of property. Protesting turned violent over the weekend following the officer-involved shooting death of Sylville Smith. At least 6 businesses and several cars were destroyed after being set on fire. The officer involved has yet to be identified. The Pentagon says the number of detainees at Guantanamo Bay Detention Center is now down to 61. Yesterday, the Pentagon said 15 prisoners were sent from Guantanamo to the United Arab Emirates in the single largest release of detainees during the Obama administration. The latest transfer is part of an acceleration in the famed detention center's decline. In less than a year, 55 detainees have now been transferred to more than a dozen other countries.
The time right now is 6:19. They may be winners, but even U.S. Olympic medalists cannot beat Uncle Sam. Athletes who earn medals also can get cash, $25,000 for each gold medal, $15,000 for silver, and $10,000 for bronze. Those winnings are considered income by the IRS, so they are subject to tax. The actual worth of the medals themselves, about $600 for a gold, $300 for silver, and next to nothing for a bronze. A new Bankrate.com study finds 21% of working Americans are saving more for retirement. That's the highest level in 5 years. Leading the charge, Generation X, followed by millennials. The study also finds those aged 52 to 61 are saving less, even though they're more likely to be in their peak earning years. Well, a lot of innovation in tech these days is all about what you wear. We've seen fitness bracelets and smartwatches, but here's something new. A group of MIT researchers now looking at smart tattoos. These metallic temporary tattoos are called duoskin, and they're not just for beauty. They can also control your smart devices. Users can use them as a touchpad to control what's happening on their screens. Some of the tattoos can also sense body temperature and mood.
Okay. Just because you can doesn't mean you always
you
do,
should,
right?
yes,
Yeah, exactly.
right. I agree with that.
It's interesting. It looks like security tags they'd be putting on
Yikes.
people. We'll see where that all goes. Our time this morning is 6:20. WKYT this morning just getting started on your Tuesday. Amid that historic flooding in Louisiana, an amazing story of survival for one woman and her dog. It's going viral. A look at a daring water rescue caught on camera when we return this morning.
And we do have the flash flood threat the next couple of days. It's definitely not like what you're going to see in Louisiana, but it's still a threat. And we're going to go over that. I'll show you when the rain starts to arrive. Coming up next.
Lexington's chapter of the American Red Cross will send crews to assist with devastating flooding out in Louisiana today.
And that's what's trending at this hour. The danger is far from over for parts of the flood-ravaged state. Portions of several rivers are still rising, threatening to burst over their banks and damage more homes. More than 20,000 people have already been rescued in the state, and at least 7 people have been killed since the flooding started last Friday. Now a quick check of the forecast. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris with a look at things locally.
Yeah, there's not much going on early this morning, but I do want to tell you this. A front is on its way, and that will bring some rain along with it. How far is it away? Well, it's roughly 300 miles away, so we still have plenty of time, and it's not moving fast. I mean, you know that. I was just telling Bill earlier during commercial break that this has been an amazing system to watch because it just hasn't moved in the past 4 to 6 days. We've been talking about it a long time, and it has really just sat there, but it's heading eastbound. Finally, but slowly. So most are dry during the morning hours. By noontime, there is a slight chance, especially back toward the west. And then we head off towards your afternoon, anywhere from 1 p.m. to more than likely about 7 p.m. That is your best bet to see some storms around. There is a slight risk of some severe weather, meaning an isolated shot, a stray cell or two. Guys, that's what we're going to be watching, and even the high water issues the next couple of days.
Okay, we'll keep all that in mind, and we thank you very much. 6:25 now on WKYT.
Oh, we have some absolutely incredible video to show you as a daring water rescue in flooded Louisiana was caught on camera.
Yeah, take a look at this. Rescuers worked to free a woman from a submerged car in Baton Rouge. You can see them attempting to break out the vehicle's window, and just as the car goes completely under, the woman is pulled up to the surface. Amazing there. The woman's dog, though, is still in the car, which is now completely underwater. Now, just as rescuers are ready to give up all hope, the pup is pulled to safety.
Kept feeling around, and eventually I felt something furry and yanked the dog out, and luckily the dog was still conscious.
The woman and her dog were visibly shaken up after being rescued, but they walked away uninjured. With more rain expected in the state, the historic flooding could be even worse before the high waters start to recede. But certainly in all of the problems they're having there, it's good to see a bright spot.
Well, the
like
woman
that.
almost wasn't rescued. I mean, it's amazing that she was pulled out like that, and she immediately popped up out of that water and said, "Where's my dog? My dog!"
Very much a close call. Yeah, certainly.
When WKYT This Morning returns, Frankfort police say some unexpected help led officers to an arrest over the weekend. We'll explain more at 6:30.
All of our top stories are on the way very shortly here. Tonight's Mega Millions is $52 million. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $94 million. Keep it here on WKYT This Morning.